This experiment is to venture into the relationship between the usage of Facebook and the personalities of the users that affect their ways in using it. According to the author, there already had a lot of research about how the personalities can be reflected through the usage of social networking sites, but there still have a lot of restrictions. Moreover, the particular social networking sites of this experiment focus on is Facebook, which is a bit different from the majorities of SNS because Facebook tends to demonstrate offline to online system, which most of the friends are acquainted in real life, not through Facebook. The aim of this experiment is to examine how the student's personality is related to the usage of Facebook. There are five hypotheses. First, people who score high in extraversion will have a frequent use of Facebook and have more friends on Facebook. Second, people with neuroticism as main traits of personality are using Facebook frequently but did not use private message often. Third, people who are more agreeable will have more friends on Facebook. Fourth, people with high openness are more familiar with the features on Facebook and prefer communicate with people using Facebook. Last, people who score high in conscientiousness are less active on Facebook because they might wanted to fulfill their goals and be responsible, so they don't want to waste their time. There are 97 students from university in southwestern Ontario who participated in the present study. They are given 4 types of tests. All study materials are posted online. First is a Facebook questionnaire developed by the authors, contain 3 categories, which are basic use of Facebook, attitudes and views toward Facebook, and the posting of self-disclosure information. Items related to the attitudes of the participants towards Facebook were assessed by asking participants to explain their personal views and their experience in whether they had posted any sensitive personal information, which is a self-report. Participants also need to complete part of Spitsberg's measure of computer-mediated communication competence. This questionnaire can measure 3 domains of competence, which is motivation, knowledge, and efficacy. Participants also need to complete Neo-PIR to assess personality along the 5-factor model domains. They examine differences between those participants who score in the highest third on the particular personality dimension and those who score in the lowest third on the same dimension. These tests can have greater statistical sensitivity in searching for group differences. The CMC competency questionnaire was analyzed in a similar way. Cut-off scores for the CMC competency measure can be found in Table 1. All scores were within 3 standard deviations of the mean. High extraversion groups are involved in more Facebook groups, but that's not related to the number of friends on Facebook, while neuroticism was unrelated to the posting of personally identifying information and also not related to the usage in communicative features on Facebook. People who scored high for CMC motivation reported spending more time per day on Facebook than those who scored low. CMC motivation was also related to the frequency of people to check their own wall. Openness to experience were being predicted. The knowledge factor from the CMC competence measure contradicted to the early hypothesis. Lower levels of openness to experience were also associated with greater knowledge about CMC. The main result of this study is only hypothesis 4 is partially supported. The level of extraversion did not influence the number of friends on their Facebook. People in high and low traits of neuroticism has different preferences. People in high neuroticism prefer the wall, while the others like photos. Hypothesis 4 was partially supported. High openness are related to a greater tendency to social through Facebook, but the results shown that the level of openness associated in lower levels of CMC knowledge. One possible explanation is they found difficulty in expressing themselves through forms of CMC. The hypothesis of agreeableness and consciousness were not supported by the results. Consistent with Spitzberg's research, motivation is one of the most important precursors to CMC use. The amount of time an individual spent on Facebook was associated with the motivation domain from CMC competence measure. In conclusion, there are relatively few important findings in relation to the personality variables. According to the authors, this can be caused by the system of Facebook using is an offline to online system. Some of the predictions did not materialize. They also suggested that personality defined by the five-factor approach are too broad, which was not the best way to estimate certain internet behaviors, for example, narcissism or shyness. They also suggested that motivational factors such as desire for communication, seek for social support, entertainment from SNS can be a way to investigate further to understand Facebook use.